Hello, friends and divine soul beings. Welcome to the day 3 of the wisdom sharing sessions, the enlightenment on no death. We are so thankful to Patriji for introducing meditation into our life and transforming our lives. If not him, we wouldn't have met and wouldn't have meditating on this spiritual consortium. Patriji has created so many masters across the globe. They are like silent warriors in spreading the peace in the community. Wherever they go, they spread the light. They share the love and compassion. With their presence, their surroundings become so peaceful, so serene. You would have experienced meeting so many masters, some of you may be new. And one such gem created by Patriji is Ramesh Gajjala, a wonderful soul who is very, very close to my heart and close to so many other masters in the UK, across the globe, a loving friend to all. Ramesh Gajjala is born in Andhra Pradesh in India, currently living in Germany, a mechanical engineer by profession. He was introduced to Anapanasati meditation in the year 1998 by his father, Ramasubbareddy Garu. We must say thanks to his father for introducing such a wonderful thing into his life, at an early age, such an enlightened father. And ever since he learned, and he was always, Ramesh was always curious about meditation. With meditation, he has seen he was suffering with asthma, and with regular practice of meditation, he has seen that, witnessed that problem has been disappeared. Okay, since then he started practicing more and more, and not just in him, he also started introducing meditation to his family members, and he has started seeing benefits in his family members, and they have experienced so many benefits. He has realized his purpose of life in the year 2010 when he, along with his soulmate, you must know, I mean, you are aware of her, like she's Madhu Gajjala. They were living in Egypt to spread about meditation and pyramid energy. And I visited Egypt in the year 2012. I've seen the amount of work they have done in the country like Egypt. They have introduced meditation in so many, to so many people, and I've seen the amount of transformation that they have got. Since then, he is balancing his work life and spiritual life. So his work is like taking him wherever there is a spiritual need is there, spiritual work is required. And Patriji always been his biggest inspiration. Every time he comes to any platform or in person, he recently visited UK as well, right? So his biggest inspiration is Patri sir, not wasting time, and wherever there's a work, Patri sir would go. In the same way, he's following his master's footsteps. So such a wonderful master, Ramesh. Thank you for coming again to this platform virtually, and you have come physical sessions also you're taken in the UK. Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks a lot, Ravi. It is wonderful to be here. And namaste, everyone. Um, Yes, we are all students of meditation. We are all students of life. And whenever we put a tag to ourselves as being students of life and students of spirituality, students of meditation, great doors open. And my father was one of the doors. Patriji was one of the biggest doors. And then many things happen. So every understanding comes once we recognize ourselves being students. And so I'm very grateful to this journey. And I'm very grateful to every master, every book, every meditation, every interaction, every experience. And as well, now I'm very grateful to UK team for making this beautiful program, beautiful sharings happen through this enlightenment on noted session. So thank you, Ravi. Thank you, UK team.
Thank you, Ramesh. Yeah. You want to continue or you want to guide the meditation? How do you want to, solve your, however, the
Yeah.
way you are comfortable. So,
Shall we have then a 10 minutes meditation and then we
sure,
go into the sharings? And Ravi, would you kindly guide into meditation? Yeah.
sure, we'll do that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, friends, let us go into meditation. If you are wearing the spectacles, please remove the spectacles. Sit in a comfortable posture, very relaxed. Entire body is fully relaxed from top of the head till tip of the toe. There is no discomfort anywhere in the body. Clasp your fingers into fingers. Eyes must be closed, my dear friends. Do not chant any mantra. Do not visualize any image, any god. Next few minutes, forget everything. Forget about the family, the future and the past, whatever happened so far. Forget about the work. Few minutes, let us spend few minutes with our own self, with our own breath. Once you are ready, shift the focus of your attention to your breath. The breath that is happening on its own without any effort. Let the breath as it is, my dear friends. Entire body is relaxed. The breath is also relaxed, natural, normal and relaxed. not hold the breath. Do not try to take the heavier breath. There's no discomfort anywhere. In the way that you are breathing, there is no discomfort. It should be very comfortable and relaxed. Maybe you can have a gentle smile on your face. To relax the facial muscles. Continue to be one with your breath. Surrender to your friend, lifelong companion. Your guru, that is your breath. You may notice thoughts. You may notice your mind wandering here and there. It's okay, it is natural for the beginners. The moment you notice, cut them straight away in a soft and gentle manner. Do not criticize yourself for having the thoughts. Cut them and bring your attention back to your breath. Let us follow this process next few minutes. presence of full moon energies, let us allow ourselves to receive the energies, and let us allow the wisdom to flow. Let us all have an open mind to receive the wisdom. Gently, slowly bring your attention back to your body consciousness. Feel the body, feel the surroundings. Now gently release your hands. Place them on your eyes for a few seconds. With a sense of gratitude to the meditation and to our Grandmaster Patriji and to yourself. With a beautiful smile. Open your eyes. Hope it was a quick, nice meditation session for everyone. Yeah, friends, let us be open to listen to our guest speaker today, to our friend Rameshji. Yes, Rameshji, please.
A lot, Ravi Garu. That was a beautiful meditation. So, first of all, let us thank Patriji and Sharda Garu bringing this message of Patriji that we all need to connect to the wisdom of no death. And as well, let us thank Master Anand Karnesh and Master Ruchi for the beautiful wisdom that was shared in the past 2 days. I went through the recordings, wonderful, wonderful sharings. You know, it is as if there is always new things to learn. There is always, new way of looking at the same thing. So thanks to them as well. And when this session, the idea of this session and the sharing came upon, I was thinking what could be the title, because enlightenment on no death, everything is in there. And when this happened in my life, there was as well a situation with a person very close. He was as well going in the phase of transition. And I witnessed how, although we know this, death is not an end, how well the transition was planned. And so the title became Death. Yes, we all know, we keep on hearing that it is not an end, but as well, I witnessed how well this transition is being planned. So if I need to share about my understandings of what is death, I go back to my childhood when I, like every other, regularly grown and regularly way of thinking, had so many fears on the aspect of death. Although I was brought up in a family wherein I used to wake up in the mornings to the slokas of Bhagavad Gita, where there is clear reference that, death is just like changing your shirt. Just like you change a worn, torn, or a dirty shirt and wear a new one, similarly, our soul wears or takes a new body. I can't say how many number of times I have woke up listening to that slokas. But it is of no use. When Ghantasala used to sing those Bhagavad Gita songs, they were so nice, they were so comforting, yet whenever there used to be a funeral passing in the streets, I was so afraid. I don't want to hear. I want to just ignore that. And whenever I used to return home and there was a funeral happening, I used to change the streets. I just want to escape it. I don't want to even, be in that atmosphere. So I would say that was the understanding of death back then. Death, although through the slokas I used to hear, through various other spiritual gurus of those times when they used to speak, yet that was not my understanding. They were nice slokas, they were comforting, they were giving a hope, but still there was little change in my understanding of death. Then meditation came into my life. Slowly, every concept, every understanding in life gradually transformed. One of the very strongest statement that came into my life back then was, we create our own reality. I first attributed it to, that we through our thinking are creating everything that we are experiencing, or we are manifesting our realities. And gradually it seeped into other aspects of life as well. So then it seeped into, so are we creating as well our life, our birth? Are we creating as well afterlife? So when we learn something, it changes not just that aspect or topic of learning, but it influences every other aspect of life. So when I just came through this statement, we create our own reality, it gave way to transform many other aspects of life, many other dimensions of life. So we are creating as well our birth. Are we creating as well our afterlife? Were my understandings, were my questions, and then that lead to an understanding. Yes, it is. So everything changes when we learn one simple statement, when we clearly understand one simple statement, and that becomes a grander truth that transforms everything. So I understood that, yes, we are not just manifesting our day-to-day experiences through the way of our thoughts, but as well, we have chosen every experience, starting from the moment of choosing our own birth, our parents, and as well our transition, which is moving from this physical life, from this body. So it went on. Yes, books were my greatest guides. So many books that came through in this journey. they all eventually led me to a clarity on this topic of death. Then in the year 2005, the very first within my family, a death had happened. My maternal grandmother, she passed over 2005. And so my understanding by then had been changed. Yet, when I arrived to that event, when I could see her physical body lying outside the home, yes, there was not the similar fear, but still there was a lot of, old beliefs that were there. What is going to happen? Why did she leave? So all these type of emotions were there for quite a time. And meditation and understanding of certain truths helped me to come out, but still I was in a quest. I was in a quest to understand more. So it went on, and in the year 2010, I had a past life memory that came through. And I was living in Egypt. It was not that I wanted to see my past life. It was few questions in the present life. I had a moment that I need to choose between two future events. Should I do this or should I do that? What is right to my life? What is life? What is right to my soul? What is better aligned to my soul purpose was my deepest question. And that is when I had a vision of my past life where I could see myself living in one of my past lives in Egypt as an Islamic sheikh preaching the truth of Quran. And it happened in my dream. I woke up. It was sometime in the morning, 3:30, 4 a.m. I was wide awake. It was the first time an experience of being wide awake. Instantly, with my open eyes, I could have very deep understandings on various aspects of life. There was an instant clarity. The very first understanding was that, see, that which I have heard as a kid in the Bhagavad Gita slokas became my reality, because I realized I lived in a different body, in a different time, and I'm presently in a different body. So what I heard became clear to me then. An instant release, an instant relief had happened. Then every other fear that was still present around, what happens and why death, all these questions that were there to some extent, they all disappeared. I could see as if, light was there. And at the same time, after that vision, I had a clarity on which way is aligned to my soul's journey, to my life purpose. So from then, there was a different clarity, a higher clarity that, death is a doorway, is a continuation. It is never an end. So just like on day one, Anand Karunesh ji had explained, just like the breath is circular, there is no gap, and so is life. There is no term called death the way we understand. We have to see life in a different form, life in a different way continuing when we leave this physical body. So we have to understand this. How do we understand this? We have to keep on listening to these sessions that share the wisdom that there is a continuation. So we have to keep on reading books. We have to keep on listening to masters. We have to keep on listening to the experiences. There are so many people who have experienced what they call NDEs, near-death experiences. There are so many masters. The more we listen to them, the more we get closer to our own personal soul experiences. It is not just simply their experience. Why do we listen to them? It is because the path is the same. The journey is the same. What is my journey is as well yours journey, your soul's journey. It is the same. Just like my hunger and your hunger are the same. They are not different. And so as well, what we undergo after we leave the physical body is the same. So it is that the more we listen, the more we learn. Every aspect that we learn, every aspect that we listen becomes a pathway for a new learning. So after this experience of my past life, things went on. And one of the trigger points, I would say, that helped me to have this experience was the books that I read. At that time, I was reading Dr. Brian Weiss' books, almost all of his books. And then I had this deep question that led to my past life experience. And time went by. Then I had within the family my next family member that departed. That was my paternal grandmother. Now, once I realized how or what happens after death, after we leave this physical body, and whenever I used to meet anyone within the family who, kind of are undergoing some fears related to this transition phase, that they are nearing to this transition phase, but yet they do not have a full understanding, I used to sit with them, spend time with them, and share whatever I know. Because it is so very, very important that we speak about this wisdom, that we let people drop all the misunderstandings that are surrounded across this transition phase. So I used to sit with everyone, every, every person within the family, and I used to ask this question: do you know what happens when you leave your physical body? This is a topic that not everyone would like to listen or to be asked about. You can ask them, how are you doing? But you can't ask them, do you know what happens when you leave this physical body? So I kept on asking until they know that when this guy sees me, he's going to ask me this question. So every time I used to meet, particularly my paternal grandmom, in my every India visit, I used to sit with her and I used to ask her, until she used to say, I'm not afraid. You told me what happens. And I really do not know if she had, she was just saying in order to, make me happy that she was listening to me. But somehow I felt, that's my job. That's it. I have to share what I know. I have to share the truth that I experienced. And even though Bhagavad Gita says that, but when someone near to you shares a similar wisdom, that gets a little bit deeper. So, friends, if you have heard something about this subject, just don't keep it with you. occasions come, situations happen within your life, within your near and dear, don't let them experience a non-understanding, a non-truth about this aspect of life. Share them this wisdom. Even if it did not come to your experience, but you have just listened about it, or you have read it in a book, speak about it, because it helps. So now coming to this experience, what had happened was in the year 2019, I was in a business trip in Africa. And on this particular evening, I had an intense feeling I have to talk to my paternal grandmom. I tried reaching my home, but no one responded my phone. So then I went to sleep, and suddenly somewhere in the night, I could intensely feel the presence of my grandmom. And I was still in a sleep state, but I knew she was there. And somehow the only discussion or the only interactions I had with her was about what happens after she leaves her physical body. It went on, it went on. And after discussing for probably half an hour, 1 hour, I could instantly feel peace within her. And then she disappeared. Only then I could slip into a deeper sleep. Then when I woke up, to my surprise, when I checked my phone, there were numerous missed calls. I called back home and they shared the news that she left her physical body exactly at the time when I felt her presence in the room. So you see, death is not an end. It is a great transition. Just for this event to happen, this session to happen, there had been so much planning. There had been so many people supporting this session, some as hosts, some as co-hosts, some who had designed the poster, some who had prepared to post this event within the groups. So if such a simple event in life had such a wonderful coordination, understand that it is the same when a transition happens. There is a great coordination. There is a great support. There is a great joy. Isn't there a great joy in this session? It is. And so there is a great joy as well when someone leaves the physical body. Why do we see it as a tragedy? It is because we do not know what is truly happening when someone is leaving their physical body. It is a great joy for the soul that leaves the physical body. So I was happy that when my paternal grandmom had chosen me in order to listen again in that state of not being in a physical body and then move on. It is not that they do not know, it is just that they wanted to be reminded about. It is just a awakening memory. We all do have this memory. We all, because we have lived so many number of times, either we remember or we do not remember. We have left the physical body numerous number of times, either we remember or either we do not remember. So have no fear is not an easy aspect, yet we have to keep on putting our efforts to learn more and more on topics that are uneasy to us. It is uneasy because we still did not learn every aspect of that particular subject. So learn about it because it gives immense freedom. because this is an aspect of life that we all will face, not at our personal level, but many times we see in our life. When we understand this, there is a great joy. Osho says life and as well death should be a celebration. Just like when we celebrate when there is a birth in the family, we have to as well equally allow and celebrate. And we will do that when we truly understand what happens when one leaves the physical body. So this was a profound experience to me when my paternal grandmom left her physical body and she had chosen me to move on, to understand and re-listen again what is happening. And there were topics that I shared that I did not know at my mind level, because, it was a soul to soul interaction. So it is our soul's memory. Even though we know we do not know, soul will happily transition. Yet when we understand the science of what happens after that, after we leave the physical body, there is a great liberation in our awareness. There is a great freedom in our awareness. So we start living much more intensely when we understand that, there is no end. We can take certain decisions, certain calls so easily when we know that it is a simple continuation. We take calls so consciously, so responsibly when we understand that it is a circle, it is not an end. So that was my third experience related to, this transition phase, what we call death. Then my recent experience was the transitioning of my father-in-law. And this had recently happened, less than 10 days ago. And I could witness closely everything what had happened. It started somewhere in October, November. It gradually happened. And then 10 days ago, he decided, yes, it's my time. And the understandings that there is no end really helped, because whenever I was spending time with the family members, thanks to those people who had already been in the path, read the books, it helped them. So whenever we read these books, even though they do not become our direct experience, meditation and reading books, they go hand in hand. When a person reads a book, and a person reads a book who integrated meditation, there is a different understanding deep inside. And I have witnessed that. All the family members who are meditators and were reading books, they did take this transition in a completely different way. Yes, there would be some sorrow because of the detachment that is happening there. Yet they came out so very quickly. They came to an understanding that, yes, that was a phase, that was his decision, and then we have to move on. So when this, when my father-in-law had passed away, he left his physical body. 10 days ago, Madhu had called me. I was in Germany then, and she told me, you have to return to India quickly. And before that, there was as well, situations But I said, no, it's not time. But on that day when she called, I said, yes, I have to go. I returned back to India. Then it was almost 2 weeks of time that was spent. And there were so many clear clarity that he kept giving to us. He kept on saying, and there were visions, there were dreams confirming that he had prepared his transition. I did not share it to everyone, but just to few people. And I learned that they had similar experiences, which were confirming that he is preparing himself, to an extent that he was sitting in a room and he suddenly used to say, hey, here are, he had a cousin, very dearest cousin, who left the physical body years ago. And then he, couple of days ago, before he left his physical body, he said, no, I can see him here. He's here. And myself and Madhu, when we listened to these experiences, and then we correlated to the things that we had experienced in our dreams and as well in our visions, we knew he was preparing himself. But we did not know when, what, everything. But we knew, it is as if everything is planned. And he spent the last days very good with his family, all the near and dear. And then he decided, yes, today is the day. And on that day, when he left his physical body, I was on my way back to Germany. In midway, I have to return back. And even the events, how it had happened on that day, you can simply say, it was very well scripted. When we deny, masters, when we are in a state of denial, everything is a tragedy. But when we come to a space of looking at things from a disconnected perspective, from a perspective of understanding, from a perspective of learning, we instantly see lots of dots that can be connected. So we could notice instantly that it was perfectly planned, not simply well planned, perfectly planned. And so understand that every person who leaves his physical body had planned it very well. Every person who leaves his physical body had a great team behind supporting this transition happening. So now, when we understand these things, we drop our regular way of looking at the process or the word that we call death, because we understand there is no dying, because we understand that the person who had transitioned is not alone. We understand that the person who had left the physical body is joyful on the other side, is experiencing liberation, freedom from this physical body. So we stop, when similar events happen with someone, we don't say, I'm sorry. Why are you sorry? What for are you sorry? My deepest, all the regular words that we hear in this world, they suddenly seem, why these people, they don't understand what is happening when someone transition. It's like when I leave Germany and I come to India, I think they should repeat the same sentences, same statements. I'm very sorry you left Germany. Why don't you say that? It is just because we do not know, we yet did not understand. Just like you allow me to travel from Germany to come to India, in the same way, we have to allow everyone to travel from the physical dimension to a non-physical dimension. Just like when I leave Germany, you say happy journey. We as well have to say happy journey to the souls that leave the physical body. There is no sorrow in death. Why do we see sorrow in death? There is a great liberation in death. That is when joy comes in such experiences. We have witnessed people who remain in pain after what had happened in the family. And the only thing we could do is give them light, give them, whenever they're ready, this understanding that there is no death. Let them understand that it is a completely, perfectly planned process, however unplanned it looks like. We keep on listening. Just yesterday I spoke to him. We went to cinema last night. This morning he is not there. But understand that everything is perfectly planned. Much well planned than the cinema you have went yesterday night. So, friends, masters, understand this, that leaving the physical body is a greatly supported process, is a properly planned, perfectly planned process. We listen to these statements. Um, he was negligent and something had happened and then he had lost his life. No, no. It was his doorway to transition. We see so many ways of leaving the physical body, and he had chosen a disease to leave the physical body. He had chosen some other way to leave the physical body. Don't see death as a tragedy. Don't see death as something unplanned. Just like birth, just like coming into the physical world took 9 months, equally greater amounts of planning undergoes, greater amount of preparation happens, greater amount of support is there, even when we leave the physical body. So this is what I thought of sharing. And look at death not as an end. Look at death not as a sorrowful event. Look at death rather as a joyful process for the living soul. Look at death as a peaceful process to the living soul. Look at death as a process of well-planned, well-assisted process to the living soul. So keep on listening to these experiences, and most importantly, keep on talking about what happens when one leaves the physical body, and let people understand, come to terms, come to a realization that it is not an end, but it is a circle. It is beautiful process. Let everyone start celebrating the lives of people who leave the body and not just be sorrowful because something had ended. It is just because something great thing had begun. So let's as well do the same thing and say happy journey. So thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Ramesh. So birth is a celebration and death is also a celebration. That's the teachings given by our Grandmaster Patriji, and he followed the same what he taught, and you are following his footsteps, and excellently, very nicely put. The conclusion is like, when you are leaving a city, you know, the way you say happy journey. So we should say happy journey. We should let them live to other planes, so happily. So wonderful conclusion, and amazing session. A lot of insights, the practical experiences, and your grandmother's, you know, explaining in your, hostelry what happens after death. At the same time, she was just before she leaving. So amazing experience. Uh, thank you. Thank you for this wisdom, these insights. Definitely, it will be helpful for, for all of us, friends. Now that Ram has clearly said, let us celebrate from now on. Let us say that, let us wish whoever are vacating their physical body, let us wish them, happy journey. Let us wish them to enjoy their journey to the higher planes, to the astral planes. Thank you. Yes, Sharda Garu, you want to say something?
Thank you, Ramsey. So as usual, your sharings really, touches our heart when it's like deep learning for us. And I remember Mahatar Babaji's statement. So Mahatar Babaji once said, so any wisdom added with own experience, it really makes others understand even much better. So now today I really experience it. So the wisdom you have shared with your own experience, so make us to understand the subject of death or whatever. It's like, like deep understanding for us. And the sharing, so whatever we have learned, we have to share. And once you said in one of the session that the information, when we share with others, it becomes wisdom. So yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Grateful to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi Garu.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ravi Garu, Sharda Garu, and the whole UK team for making this beautiful session happen. And yes, keep the journey on. There are so many masters lined up, and keep on listening to each one of them. And every sharing adds a new perspective, and every sharing can become light to us and as well everyone.
True. Very well said. Even a single line can, bring in so much of transformation, so much of, opening can happen. And friends who are like, um, as Ram just shared about the death is a transition. It's not a, sad thing to happen. So whoever is like wishing, sharing their condolences, just be mindful of, sharing in a positive way. Now that he just finished his section. So yeah, thank you, friends. And anybody has any questions or anything to share, please, you can raise your hand and you can talk. How you want to talk, Dakshaji. So let me just see, where are you? Yeah. Yeah, I hope you are the one. I unmuted. Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. Namaste. I'm very new to this platform, but I'm absolutely fascinated with this topic. The understanding of the body playing its part, the soul playing its part through the body, the connections, the relations. It's, also understanding is that the body is flesh and bones, and eventually we've got to play a part and move on. I'm very curious, if I can put it that way, about what happens afterwards. But I do also know that I pay attention to my present and as my days and as my life unfolds. And I I kind of feel that, you know, the attachments that we have often stop us from experiencing what we need to experience, particularly leaving the body. And I want to, if I can take a moment or two to share a recent experience that I went through. My auntie, this is my dad's elder sister, and my uncle were together for many, many years, married for many years in the UK. And they have one child, but they didn't live as a family, although the connection was there, and a very close family. And I used to visit them quite regularly, just connect with them. And my aunt was actually struggling with health in the last 2-3 months. She recently passed away, I think about a fortnight ago. And as I went to see her, what happened is in the time of her body suffering, they separated. So my uncle and aunt separated by going into hospital. My aunt kept on falling, uncle kept on falling, and they were in the same hospital but could not actually be together to share. Because the wards were different. And what happened is it was almost like the soul, as you said, the soul prepares. So I felt, again, I'm not really intuitive about this, but I really felt that this was a necessary part of their separation, was necessary because they were so attached, and it was really hard. And it was interesting the last time. And then, you know, it was just how I supported both of them in my own way. But when I saw my aunt the very last time before she passed away, I said to her, you know, you have been absolutely amazing. You know, you only had one child, but you carried so many children, you raised, nurtured, and including me. You know, I remember her telling me stories when I was young and what happened through her guidance. And one of the things I said to her is, you know, you've done so much for the world. You've played an amazing part. It seems like, you know, you've done so much for my uncle also, you know, and it's time for you to take time for yourself now to prepare separating from the body, you know, because it's time to now really go for the best. Something else is waiting for you. And when I heard the news a week later that she had gone, it was like, I could not believe my last words to her, you know, but I felt that soul plan. And somebody said to me, Daksha, maybe you were instrumental in telling her that also. So my question to you, so thank you for your patience in listening to my story. But my question is, so the soul wisdom accepts well that this is a perfectly planned drama. I missed part of your session, unfortunately, I couldn't do it, but I listened to it. But what I wanted to find out is, you know, when this death is supported, you said it's supported. Is it supported by beings on earth, or is it supported by beings above, or what? Could you add a bit of light to that?
Yeah. So, you know, the journey is the journey of the soul. Yeah. So when we understand it is the journey of the soul, there are so many souls that support the process. So the person who is leaving the physical body, he becomes aware. He slowly starts to even allow the process to happen. He lets the, you know, he's ready to leave the physical body. So people on the other side, souls on the other side, guides on the other side, masters on the other side, they all come and guide this process, take this process. Now, when a soul had underwent this process multiple number of times, this support system is no more required after so many times of this experience for that particular soul. Because the moment they leave the physical body, they know what is going to happen, and they don't need all these, you know, it's like the very first time when a kid is going to the school, the grandparents come, the parents come, the brothers come, and then they are standing there and then guiding the kid to go into the bus. Then, you know, you understand the process. But imagine the same kid, he is in his 10th standard or the 10th year in the school. It is not required to send him off in the same way. Just the mother comes or sometimes the kid takes his bag and goes to the school. So depending on how is the journey of the soul, the process on the other side as well happens. And this doesn't mean that there is no support as on later required, but yeah, there is always a great support.
Thank you. So it's a feeling like, the soul has completed in the best way that they could in that sole purpose that they had on this life. But eventually death is inevitable. They need to move on until the next incarnation.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would suggest some books of Dr. Brainwise, books of Robert Schwartz, books on your soul's journey. There is a book. So there are so many books. We have to keep reading these books. And one single book will completely answer thousands of questions related to this topic. Every single book. I recently read a book called 3 Lives by Lobsang Rampa. It has beautiful information and why it is so very important for each of us. Just like we put effort in learning how to cook well, we have to as well put effort on understanding what happens when we leave the physical body. It is the soul's memory. Yes, the soul's memory. It will happen. Even though we want it not to happen, it will happen. And but when we kind of come to an understanding, even at our even by reading, then we prepare, or the transition becomes easier, smoother. So we have to put effort. So you all attending and you attending this session is a great effort in understanding this concept. And we have to keep on continuing. We should never stop. There is always some greater things to learn on every topic. So how can we learn more? By reading books. Books and books and books. There are so many books. So I would strongly recommend to read books.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I see also Rituji.
Thank you, Rituji. Yes, go if you want to talk.
Thank you so much, Master, for the wonderful wisdom sharing. I wish to digress a little bit, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you about how you healed your asthma with meditation. Thank you.
So there is nothing called a separate process. It's like if you want to cook rice, you need the same heat. Or if you want to make pasta, you need the same heat. If you want to make a dessert, you need the same heat. So just like the heat is the same, and so for everything to get solved, meditation is the heat. So if you want to heal your asthma, it is the same process. Close your eyes, remove your glasses, close your eyes, observe your breath. If you want to find answers to certain questions in life, it is the same process. Take your glasses, close your eyes, observe your breath. If you want to heal your headache, it is the same process. If you want to heal asthma, it is the same process. So there is no different process. There is no different heats. When you go into the kitchen, it is the same stove that cooks so many different varieties of food, isn't it? And so it is the same meditation. It is the same breath. It is the same thing you have to keep on doing. Even if you want to understand what happens after death, after you leave this physical body, it is the same process. Just like it is your same stove that cooks so many varieties of foods, it is the same process that takes you to every healing and every understanding.
Thank you, Ramesh. Nicely answered. Hope that was clear. Yes, friends. Anybody has any other question? I can see a question from Prema that the rituals that are performed, somebody vacates the body. So is that needed for the soul to go through their transition in the right path? So that's the question.
So for the past now 10 days, I could see, rituals are happening in the family, yet when we are there, we in the sense, when people with an understanding of what happens after leaving the physical body, the answer would be there is no use of these rituals. Now, we are still with a family and there are some decision makers and things happen. Then what is our purpose there? It is for them to, it is for us to guide them in understanding what exactly is happening when one leaves the physical body. So people have to understand this. And when we understand what exactly is happening, you as well will come to a clear statement. All these rituals are not required. Yeah. So it's sometimes quite funny when we see these rituals from the soul's perspective. Probably the soul that departed is laughing when we are too seriously doing these rituals. Thank you.
Thank you. There are some other questions. Okay to take is
yes,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, right. Okay. So from Anu, it's more of an attachment to the soul who are still in the physical place. That acceptance is difficult but needed. How to make peace with the fact that the soul has left? That mere acceptance.
Yes, that is why it is important. Don't wait for someone to leave their physical body. Tell them when they are in the physical body, hey guys, sit, remove your glasses, close your eyes, observe your breath, meditate. Don't wait for them to leave their physical body to tell them to share some truths that that you have listened. Yes, what we think here becomes our reality, as below, so above. So that is why we have to refine our understandings. And whatever we learn, don't wait until don't wait until you become a post-graduation in that topic. No, when you're in nursery, teach them that nursery things that you have learned. That is why we are here. We are not here to nothing else but to just transfer every learning of ours. So teach to people who are in the physical body meditation. Teach to the people in the physical body what happens when they leave the physical body. Share about these sessions. Give them books. So what happens to the soul that left its body? You first of all disconnect emotionally from these people. Don't pull them by your heavy emotions, which is sorrow, the feeling of, they left, what will happen to my life, what will happen to them, what is happening to them. First, understand what is happening when one leaves the physical body. When you read one book, when you read second book, when you read 10th book, when you read 100th book, and you see that it is the same thing written by different authors from different countries, different authors or masters from different times, you understand that, there is greater things happening on the other side. So first thing we do is we disconnect emotionally from them. We still love them. We still take inspirations from their life. We are still grateful for the things they have done in their life. That's what we take. You know, when we read a book, we are not reading and remembering everything. We take the lessons, isn't it? We take the key points that we loved, isn't it? And so is the same. We learn something from the life of the person who left his physical body. We still love them. We may physically miss them, but we do not need to pull them down with our heavy emotions. Let them go. Let them go. So, and what happens to the soul that left the body? Why are we so much concerned about the soul? The moment we leave them free, the soul is free, it easily transitions. And yes, some souls decides to stay here for some time. But there is, as I said, it is well planned, great and great and great and great support is there on the other side. And eventually the transition happens. First, we in the physical bodies have to completely allow for the bodies, for the people who have transitioned, to let them go. And that happens when we keep on meditating, because meditation is dropping off the unnecessary baggage. Meditation is a process of dropping wrong understandings. So we have to keep on meditating, and then we have to keep on learning, and we have to keep on sharing that we learn.
Thank you, Ramesh. It was a wonderful explanation and good suggestion to teach meditation. Yeah. So, how do we know that we went deep in meditation? I'm getting sleep while doing meditation. How to come out of it?
Yeah. So, madam, that's one of the phases of meditation. That's fine. The moment you open, the moment you sit with an intention to go into meditation, that's it. Whatever happens later is always a great, successful meditation. So everything is the perfect experience in meditation. So it's just a phase, just keep meditating.
Thank you, Ramesh. So there was one person in the UK group itself when she started meditation in the year 2012. For continuous 30-40 days, she was just sitting in meditation and sleeping because it was much needed for her, because her body was going through that relaxation process. It was needed, right? So for some people, the body needs to go through that healing process. So the rest, the sleep, that is called yoga nidra. In that yoga nidra, a lot of healing takes place. Okay, so don't be, too much. Don't think too much about it. But just as Ramesh ji mentioned, so just keep doing. Okay, thank you.
And Lakshmi ji, even now, after so many years of meditation, sometimes when I sit, I go into sleep. So it's fine. So we are together in this journey.
Thank you. Yes. Wallah sir, you want to say something?
Thank you so much, sir. Ramesh, sir, thank you very much for a lovely session. Absolutely amazing, as usual. And, I'm so thankful to every one of you in the PSSM family. I've been in this meditation process for the last 4 years, friends, and it's completely changed me as a person. Um, Earlier, life was always full of challenges, but the fear of death was always there. But now, believe me, every moment that I breathe in and breathe out, I don't know whether the next moment I'm going to take a breath back again or not. So I cherish every moment that I live. And that's what life is all about. That's what life has actually taught me through PSSM, that every moment you should cherish. And, we always kind of, wonder, what's in store for me for the next day or next moment or next life or whatever. So I always say this now to every person whom I meet, just enjoy this moment, and that's what really matters. And incidentally, as I said, 5 years ago, it's difficult nowadays to even, think about death and kind of, talk about death. But now I every time, say, okay, when am I going to be kind of, calling it off a day? And, I've already arranged my own funeral plan 5 years ago, which I did kind of finish it off 2 years ago, because, you never know. You don't want to be a liability on other people, right? So, friends, if you've not done that, do it. Why wait for somebody else to kind of do it for you? So, plan your future, buy a funeral plan, keep it ready, because as you know, the flight tickets get expensive, the funeral plans are getting expensive. So just buy it and keep it handy. You never know. You don't want to be a liability on anybody else in life. you know and so grateful for this sheer wisdom that I have gathered through PSSM, to all these wonderful masters. Life has taught me so many things. And now every morning, as I said, when I leave my house, I don't know whether I'm going to come back. I go with that notion out. you know. And if I come back, I'm happy. But if I go in the morning, I'm not sad. It doesn't make me feel sad that I'm going to miss out on my family and my people. In fact, I'm actually looking forward and excited about what's on the other side of the road, man. We always having this fear of what's on the. I want to now know what's on the other side, and that's what I'm excited about in life now. So thank you, Ramesh sir, for absolutely an amazing session today. It's always so wonderful to hear. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Ravi sir,
Thank you,
and thank you,
Balaji.
Sardaji. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good. So now we have come to the conclusion part. So the conclusion is, let us celebrate everything. Okay. So thank you. And thank you once again, Ramesh ji, for this wonderful session. Always, it's amazing to listen to you. Every word that comes off your mouth is a wisdom, and which is actually expanding our energy. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Raviji. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, friends, let us meet again tomorrow at the same time, 9 p.m. with one other master with a different, uh, uh, wisdom, or to learn more about the same topic, on no death. So let us meet again. Thank you, friends. Good night, and have a great weekend ahead. Thank you.